Right.
And
All
take
right.
it away.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you for this opportunity. Hi, everyone. My name is Jorge Torres, and today I'm going to share with you about this topic, which is mobiles, communication, and talking time in ELT. Uh, and more specifically about speaking activities in the classroom using devices, mobiles, cell phones, smartphones, whatever you want to call them. I'm going to be sharing some information with you, some information about what I have read, but also some activities I have tried in my classes. All right. So I want to tell you first about small talk because this is related to the topic, right? In the past, small talk was just speaking about controversial issues. The weather was the perfect topic for many people. However, these things are changing now because yes, we continue speaking about the weather maybe, but some people may say that this small talk, the controversial one, is becoming unnecessary. And I let you know why, and I have a picture in here. In the past, we will go like this, the traditional small talk, right? People face to face talking to each other, etc. But now things have changed. Now people are talking to their devices. They are not talking to other people, I mean, face to face, but in the devices. And when they don't have the device with them, they feel a little bit uncomfortable, like these people in the picture, for example. See? So I guess, yes, small talk has changed a bit, right? Well, uh, continue about the mobiles. I can tell you that these mobiles, I mean, these devices are part of our life, not only our lives, but also students' lives, and we take them wherever we go. We take them with us to school, to the office, to the gym, to a concert. Wherever we go, we have a device in our hands. And some people say that this technology is about communication and language, right? But some others say that it's not being used in the classroom. Uh, for example, here in Mexico, in some schools, the devices are forbidden. I mean, students cannot bring the devices into the classrooms. In some of the schools, they are using these devices a lot, but there are still some in which it is not permitted. And these devices can bring a lot of benefits to our class because of the ability they have to exchange multimedia between users. And for example, in this picture, I can show you more or less some or many of the things students can do. They can exchange video, I mean, record videos, exchange comments, see a movie, look for information. They can have a video conference. They can do many, many, many things, which in the past was almost impossible. I mean, in the classroom. In our houses, well, it was a little bit different. If you had a computer, well, it was more or less something you could do, right? Well, of course, there are some pros and cons of using the devices in our classroom and everywhere. For example, some of the pros is that they are very easy to carry. Yes, we can take them with us wherever we go. The batteries usually last for hours, good enough. They have a lot of apps. I mean, sometimes it's impossible to decide which app we have to use because there are many available. They usually have good quality in the multimedia, like playing and recording videos and pictures and more, and they are easy to use. Okay, well, and the opposite, I mean, the cons is that it's difficult to write for us, I guess, because students are really, really fast at doing this. For them, I guess it's not that difficult, but for us and for some people, it's difficult because the screen size is small, right? And the other one is the price. Sometimes when some people cannot afford to buy one of these fashion devices, right? We have to buy like the not expensive ones. You need to pay to have access to the internet. That's another one. And since there are many apps, we don't know which one is the correct one. We need some kind of guidance, and sometimes there is no one there to guide us. So there is no training. And I don't know if there is some training somewhere, but I don't know any school or any place where they give you some kind of training on how to use the devices, especially the mobiles. Okay, so well, after having said this, I'm going to tell you about some activities I have tried with my students in my class. using their mobiles, okay? One of them, and I'm sure some of you have already used it, is this one, brainstorming a topic. This is a very simple activity. What we need in here is students with a WhatsApp group, okay? And what I do is I just write the topic of the lesson on the board, and I ask students to exchange information about this topic, whatever they know, any questions they may have, but it's to each other, not with the teacher, right? So they are working in the WhatsApp group. I am not part of the WhatsApp group of these students. In this case, my students. Some teachers are part of the group, but in my case, I prefer not to be part of that group, but my students work together, right? So in this activity, well, they share information in there, but also I tell them not to worry about accuracy. They are exchanging vocabulary, comments, etc. So accuracy is not the main point in here. Communication is. So in here, students can expand their vocabulary because they are trying out some ideas and also giving feedback to their classmates. They may be asking questions to each other and helping, right? Well, and this is a picture of my students really engaged in that stage of the activity because they were exchanging messages to each other. Another activity is this one. Yes, the mobile phone functions. This is a very easy activity you can try in your class. And the idea is that you can have students in groups and they are going to exchange information about what are the things they can do with their mobiles. Okay, for example, they can say, oh, I can switch the language to English. I can, that's one. I can put it in the silent mode or the flight mode. I can access to the App Store. I can see how much storage is available and some other things. And this, I'm sorry, this information is important to teachers because in that way we know what kind of devices they have and we can plan our lessons. If we want to include the mobiles, it's important to know what kind of devices they have. So having this information is useful for all of us, I mean for the teachers, because that way we can plan. Another activity is this one. This is a little bit more complex, but it's a good activity because students reflect on learning and motivation, okay? So in this case, the idea is to help them a little bit and to find out the characteristics that learners would ideally like to possess. They can do this either using the audio or the video in or out the class. And they can, I mean, the teacher can help students by giving them some ideas, like for example, you know, like the beginning of a sentence, and then they just complete the idea with their own words. And then in that way, they can reflect on what their expectations are for the semester or the school year, what they would like to learn, what they could do, what is something they need to know in order to continue learning, in what ways they learn the best, or what they need in that moment, right? So this is just some ideas. Of course, you know your students and you can come up with more ideas or like this, and just students complete the ideas and then they reflect on this. So these are like 3 ideas. There are more, of course, there are many, but these are the ones I have tried in my class and they have been successful. My students like the idea because they like devices. So whenever you ask a student to use a device in the class, they are the happiest students, right? Well, this is the final thought for my, there was one more in there, my presentation. And I like this a lot because this is true. This is not something we force students to use. They like the idea of bringing these tools to the class. It's part of their lives. And as I told you in the beginning, this is part of everybody's lives because we carry them wherever we go, to the gym, to school, to the office. And even right now, we are using this device to have this presentation and this great event. Well, that's all on my part. Thank you very much, Rob. Thank you for the opportunity to participate in this great event. And happy 5th anniversary.